Today we'll be speaking about another one important topic in Hindu law. This topic is important at the same time not important. Both. Why? Because important, exam point of view important, not important. Why? Because this concept is no more there. After 2005, this topic, this concept is being repealed. What is that? Doctrine of PS obligation. All right. So in 2 to 3 slides, you'll be able to understand the entire details of this particular topic. So this topic, in order to understand this topic, we have to know all these questions. So these are the primary keywords, wherein the first one goes like this: what do you mean by PS obligation? Primary definition of it. Next, why PS obligation was required? Why did it exist in Hindu law? And what is the concept of avyavaharika debt and vyavaharika debt? See, in Hindu law, we have two types of concepts, that is avyavaharika and vyavaharika. All right, so debt related to avyavara and vyavahara, which is valid one? Vyavaharika is important. PS obligation, is it still in force? Answer is no. As I told, 2005 it was repealed, it was cancelled. And last one is, are daughters liable? No, not at all. Why? Because 2005 it has been repealed. So there's no point speaking about the liability of daughters as well as sons. Next, this slide you have to keep in your mind. Please take a screenshot of this. And this slide gives entire details of PS obligation. So as I told, there's something called Vyavaharika debt, Avyavaharika debt, and post 2005, what was the status and the legal obligation of it, and the very important concept, that is PS obligation was linked to the concept of moksha. In Hindu law, we have this concept moksha, and PS obligation has direct connection with this word, and we'll be discussing about certain important case laws. You have two important case laws in this topic, and you have to keep in your mind. Next, so doctrine of PS obligation. What do you mean by that? It was a religious or a devotional obligation on whom? On son, son's son, and great grandson. 3 generations. So you have to keep in your mind. Why? What was that obligation? To pay back the fathers or grandfathers or great grandfathers debt. Debt of what kind? Again, Vyavaharika debt, not Avyavarika debts. So as you can see in this slide, Vyavaharika debt was the only thing which was considered. Whenever you're writing the answer, you have to write it in past tense. Was has to be used. If you are using is, then the entire answer is meaningless because it is something which existed. Now it is not there. Avyavarika, what was Avyavarika debt? And any debt which was made for wrongful purpose, for example, gambling or having illicit sex kind of things. So that kind of debts were not considered, and the son or son or great grandson was not liable to pay back that particular debts. So this is very important. Religious, it was a religious aspect and existence. Pre 2005 it was there, and now it is not there, not in existence. Post 2005 amendment, and if you are asked about 2005 amendment of this Hindu Succession Act, you have to mention about PS obligation also. Next, PS obligation, it was a soul religious obligation for what? Salvation of the soul, that is moksha. It was believed by the people that if the debts are not cleared, then that particular person after his death will not attain moksha. That is the reason this concept existed, and it was repealed in 2005. Next, why was it there? As you can see, it is being believed that non-payment of debt is a sin, pap, sin, okay, and cannot attain swarga. This concept was there, and that's the reason the next generation of that particular person who died were obligated to pay back that debt, and he will not attain moksha. This was the concept. See, very simple. You have to keep certain points in your mind, and you have to just elaborate it, and along with the case laws, again very important. And next, females, female co-partners, are they liable? No. Answer is no, because Simple answer, the concept itself has been repealed after 2005. It is not applicable for both male and female co-parceners. Next, very important case law, Satnarayan versus Rai Bahadur Sri Kishan Das. What was this? What is this case is all about? It was observed that Pious obligation was not based on necessity. Very important. This speaks about third person, third party. Okay, it is not. It was not a protection for the third party. Third party here means the one who has given the loan, the amount. So it was not like to protect that person. It was purely on spiritual action, spiritual concept. All right. So the one who gave the money was not entitled to take this peer's obligation as a defense in order to get back the money. However, it was a spiritual concept incomplete. Next, this case is also very important. Apentala Raghavaya versus Peda Ammayya. So this, if you can remember the case law, fine. Or else you can just write leading case law and write the facts of it. In this case, a person had actually raised loan in order to start a tobacco business. All right, and the who is that father actually had made loan to start a tobacco business, and again it was challenged, and finally it was held that such loan which was raised by the person in order to start a business was not actually a vyavarika. It was considered vyavaharika, though it was a tobacco business. It was done on a good faith. He sold that property to repay that debt amount. He had started a business, and in order to repay the debt amount, what he had made during the course of business, that particular loan amount given back by selling a property was considered as vyavaharika. This was held by this case law. Very important. I hope you got the concept. Next, conclusion. As you can see, conclusion of right, very important. PS obligation has ceased to exist post 2005 amendment. Very simple, very small concept. All right, but you should not forget these two case law, one about tobacco business and another one with respect to the protection of third party. Rest all you can just elaborate based on the keywords that you remember. Okay, these are the keywords that you have to keep in your mind. I hope this concept is clear for you. Thank you.